Hey everyone, it's Marianne from the New York City Organization of Public Service Retirees. So I'm going to do another video regarding the United Federation of Teachers, Michael Mulgrew's most recent letter to the City Council. I just want to touch through it because it's just the same old lies and rhetoric. And then I want to go back to the MLC audio, which of course, Michael hasn't shown up for an MLC meeting in quite some time, as I guess he's afraid to be on the record. See, this letter doesn't really do anything because he's not proving anything. He cites his opinion and his deflection of what he says are the facts, but let me show you. This letter, the United Federation of Teachers sent to Speaker Adrian Adams at the New York City Council, and it was sent to every city council member. And he's alleging that Councilman Charles Barron's intro 1099 legislation to protect retirees would harm, not help, the health care of municipal workers and retirees. Actually, no, Michael, it would protect us because you are trying to harm us. You are forcing us into managed inferior health care. Privatization of healthcare, something we would never have done. Real labor leaders, you know, like the ones behind me, would never have done because those labor leaders actually helped found Medicare. You are trying to destroy it. He says high quality premium free healthcare doesn't just happen. Well, you're right, because that's why we have Medicare. No one's been able to create something that's better than what we've had. And he goes on into this rhetoric of, for more than half a century, despite skyrocketing health costs, the UFT and our colleagues in the Municipal Labor Committee have done just that. No, you haven't. You've downgraded everything that we've had. You've put blocks in preventing us from access to our doctors and hospitals. Our doctors don't always accept this plan. Even in Aetna's own page, they say that your doctors have to accept the plan and they have to accept it for payment. And since not every doctor does, or that it is regional, you might not have access to the network. So stop lying to City Council. It's in Aetna's own documents, which I'm sure you're going to see in due time because they're in our litigation. Also, let's make this fact crystal clear. A Medicare-eligible retiree's health insurance is $200 a month. An active worker's health care for an individual plan is $918, and I think the family plan is about $2,300 a month. Our healthcare, your Medicare-eligible retirees, those that are on Medicare for age and disability, your most vulnerable population, Michael, these people, their healthcare plan only pays 20% of their medical costs. Yours pays a full 100. Let's not talk about skyrocketing costs because our Medicare picks up most of our hospitalization. Our Medicare picks up most of our medical. You have the skyrocketing cost and you sought to steal the money that we had that was a general line item in the general budget for you. You said it. I have you on tape saying it. I have you on a video saying it. I have Henry saying it, and I have Nespoli saying it. And here, you're also going to hear your colleagues saying it. I'm not even going to go through the rest of this letter. You did create a Medicare Advantage plan. It walks like a duck. It talks like a duck. Guess what, Michael? It is a duck. This plan doesn't put it says this new Medicare Advantage plan puts more control and oversight into the hands of those protecting the interests of the patients. City retirees? No, it doesn't put anything in our hands. You stripped our access and our control of our healthcare away from us and put it in your hands. Come on, Michael, you could admit it. Come on, it's okay, honey. The truth will set you free. So now let's go to the video. Actually, let's go to the audio because audio is even better. This will be the third installment of the MLC exposing its ass.
Sometimes since the retirees are not independent because they are retired, the unions do not collectively bargain on their behalf. Is that correct?
Yes, no, that's what I saw that in the channel.
No more hands up.
So that was a question that was asked by Tom Cazzo of Local 3, and it was, I guess, written in the chat, and it said, you know, I guess because retirees are not active workers, they're no longer employees, we don't collectively bargain for them. And the answer is yes, you don't collectively bargain for them. They're not your employees. But hold on, it gets clarified again.
Just one more hand up, and then we're going to close this out. Jeff Oceans.
From the group of the Retirees, please just respond once more, because I was trying to understand. You answered Tom Cazzo's question.
He's saying you answered Tom Cazzo's question.
Earlier that was conflicting. So is Tom's question correct? No, as I just said. Oh, it's no. So in other words, the retirees are not union members, but yet, so that means we do collectively bargain on their behalf? Yes, we have for the last 50 plus years. And
so let me explain that. Retirees are not union members. We are not members of their unions. And unions can only legally collectively bargain for those in their units for wages, hours, and work conditions. And that's under New York State Taylor law. That's also under New York City collective bargaining law. But let him continue.
The legal rationale for it is that it's part of what unions do in connection with active members who, as I believe Mr. Simmons said, will at some point become retirees. And that's what the law has allowed, and that's actually what Judge Frank ruled.
No, actually, Judge Frank didn't rule that he could negotiate, or the MLC or the unions could negotiate for current retirees. What he said was that the MLC can negotiate for their members and for their members' retirement benefits. He never decided or ruled on whether or not the MLC or the unions could collectively bargain for current retirees, those that were already retired and not in a union or a bargaining unit. And that's because the question wasn't before him. I'm sure that question's going to come out this round, and they're not going to like the answer.
In his prior decision on Medicare Advantage, which we'll be getting to that next soon, Harry, after this, but Judge Frank expressly ruled that the MLC or unions have a right to bargain for retiree health as part of the overall package.
Now, Judge Frank never made a ruling that the MLC had any rights to negotiate as part of any overall package. That in his dicta, which dicta is not legally binding, in his explanation, he was basically saying, because this case wasn't brought, many people ask us, why didn't you sue the unions? Well, we didn't have to sue the unions. We're not a union member. And even our retirees who are managers are not in unions. This was not that kind of a case. The unions want to say, and this is where the play on words comes, the unions can collectively bargain for wages, hours, and work conditions, benefits, healthcare, those are a condition for active workers. That would also include their future retirement health benefits. But what about a retired person? See, the rule always was, and these people behind me could have told you if they were here, and I wish they were, a union cannot collectively bargain for retired persons. They are not in your bargaining unit. It would be like Michael Mulgrew or Henry Garrido or whatever, trying to negotiate for an employee in New Jersey. They're not in their unit. They don't represent them. So it can't happen. For example, people talk about the asylum seekers and the benefits that are being legislated for them. Consider us like that. We have no affiliation. We are not affiliated with our unions. We have no one to look after us. And here's further proof. Back when the administrative code, back during the fiscal crisis in the 70s, DC 37 gave up their right to Medicare B reimbursement. The retirees' argument, and that was part of a $24 million package of savings. And Robert Lynn was around then. And this is why I think he's got a hole burning in his ass over this whole 12-126 Medicare B reimbursement, healthcare, retirees being given Medicare benefits, healthcare benefits. Victor Gottbaum, as part of a fiscal crisis negotiation, they were giving up a lot of benefits, wages, contracts. And as part of that agreement, they gave up Medicare B reimbursement. The retirees got angry and said, you could negotiate that away for you, but you can't negotiate that away for us. We're already retired. That was our deal. And the proof in the pudding was the current retirees went to the city council and said, that union guy, our former union leader, gave up Medicare B reimbursement. And then labor relations took the opinion that it was for all retirees, current and future. And it should have been for future, but it wasn't. So the city council looked at it and guess what? They put it back in the budget. Now we have a memo that we'll do another video on that'll also show you exactly that. Benefits for retirees, current retirees, is codified in law, not collective bargaining. So don't be fooled by this at all. What the MLC is basically saying is that they want the value of what we have to be able to use it to bargain for them. If they were good negotiators, they would have left retirees with what they had and collectively bargained for themselves. You know, productivity changes, some savings here and there, maybe do something that they don't need anymore. Or, hey, listen, you know, we're during a time of potential impact bargaining. They're understaffed. You see articles all the time that the city is like 22,000 people under count, which means the workers on duty are working harder. Guess what? If they were real negotiators, they would have negotiated more money because they're putting in more time and effort and they're doing more of their work share than they should have been doing. Productivity changes. They could do so many different things. And yet, what did they do? Sat back on their laurels and sold off their most vulnerable population. That people like Victor and Al would have said, Lillian Roberts would have said, never sell off your retirees. Never touch retiree benefits, because once you open that door, they're going to come back. And that's exactly what they're going to do. So we had to do what we needed to do, which was protect ourselves. The unions know that they cannot represent retirees, or they would have been taking our grievances, our phone calls. They would have been helping us throughout this entire process. They would have had us at the table. Because remember what we've said, unions, if you're not at the table, then you must be on the menu. And I'm sorry, Henry, Harry, Michael, and Alan, we're not going to be your main course. You need to come up with your own raises and your own money some other way. And the city council needs to pass Intro 1099 in order to protect retirees from stealing the money that's been in the budget as a general budget allocation for Medicare eligible retirees. Our health insurance has only gone up about 5% a year. In 1997, it was $88 and change. Today, it's about $200. Don't listen to the rhetoric of skyrocketing costs. Their health plans are skyrocketing, not ours. Remember, yours pays 100% of your health care. Ours pays only 20%. Don't listen to the BS. Pass Intro 1099 and don't listen to the garbage that they're trying to put out because they don't want to get caught in the big lie. That's what it is. Even Wonder Woman will tell you. Keep your hands off our funding and pass Intro 1099.